Hey, True Believers. Today on our YouTube channel, we're going over Marvel Family Comics Issue 1. And this is the first appearance of Black Adam, as well as the origin of the Marvel family. The print date on this was December of 1945, so I'm glad that I got this reprint. As you can see, sadly it's not an original. That would be so awesome. The original cover, it actually says 10 cents right here, and I'm like, yeah. To be able to get one of these books for 10 cents, forget about it. So being able to at least get a facsimile, at least I have some sort of closeness to the original. So with that, let's dive in. And I'm glad with these facsimiles that it's actual like paper and not that, what is it, kind of the photo paper? I forget what it's called, the one that is more slick. So yeah, real quick, before we dive into this, because these older books, one thing that drives me nuts is they don't give credit where credit's due, and that's the art team. So the writer was Otto, I believe is how you pronounce it. The penciler was C.C. Beck. The inks were Pete. Hold on, I wrote this down. Hold on a second. Because, yeah. So the writer was Otto Binder. The penciler was C.C. Beck. The inks were Pete Costanza, and the editor was Wendell Crowley. And so you guys know, Fawcett Comics was their own individual thing once upon a time ago. And then, like Charleston Comics, they got bought out by DC, and that's how DC got characters like, I think it was The Question, and some other ones from Charleston, and then they got Captain Marvel. And let's see, hold on, let me look in here real quick. Oh, it doesn't say it. I was looking online at some of these pages, and in the original one, because see, it says here published by DC Comics. If I'm missing it, feel free to make fun of me. There was somewhere in here where it actually said Fawcett Comics in the original one. And yeah, some of this stuff was that they had to add in here. It's just interesting. Oh, the original artwork. I mean, look at that. Back when there was like real no care in the world and they just wanted to make funny pages. Funny pages. Haven't said that in a long time. But here we go. Your first appearance of Black Adam. Captain Marvel Jr., Mary Marvel. Each of these names alone makes a great story. But now, all three Marvels combine in the greatest adventure of all, as the mighty Marvel family wages grim battle against the most frightful menace of the ages, Black Adam. And the first appearance, I believe, of Captain Marvel was Wiz Comics #2, and I think that was 1940, something like that. But another thing that's special about this book is this is the first time that the Rock of Eternity, where old Shazam lives, it was actually named. So it says, somewhere far out beyond the realm of mankind, there stands the Rock of Eternity. And it's showing Shazam chiseling in one of their, the Marvel's adventures, which, as I'm going, I understand, because sometimes when you want to tell a story, like Bilbo Baggins, for example, he's writing There and Back Again at Hobbit's Tale, blah, 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 blah. But he's on the rock, chiseling this long-ass diatribe of this comic telling this tale. So just listen to this, and this is what I meant by the cheesiness, even though it's fun. The record of the mighty Marvel family, living on Earth, fighting evil, are Captain Marvel Jr., Mary Marvel. Shazam created them to fight evil on Earth, but also it must be recorded that before them I created Black Adam. Much to my sorrow, I called him Mighty Adam first. But when he turned evil, I renamed him Black Adam. For his crimes, I banished Black Adam to the farthest star. And yet it was not far enough, for he was to return and challenge the might of the Marvel family. The story of this battle opened in the office of Sterling Morris, owner of radio station Whiz. Ah, more innocent times. Radio Whiz. And this is where we see Billy Batson, who looks more like Dennis the Menace, in my opinion, or with that type of dough face, kind of like Wimpy. Like, if you pay me today, I'll pay you back Tuesday for a hamburger today, or however Wimpy used to say it in Popeye. So you can just see the golden age of comics just oozing off of these pages, and why it was such a draw to younger crowds once upon a time ago. And from here we see how the origin of Captain Marvel and Billy Batson. says, but perhaps you're wondering who this Captain Marvel is and where he came from. Years ago, when Billy Batson was just an obscure orphan, he came to a forgotten subway tunnel at my summons. He passed the statues of man's 7 deadliest enemies and came to my secret abode. So there's where they got the idea for the movie that came out a couple years ago, and where he meets the wizard. I am Shazam, the Egyptian wizard. I have summoned you, my boy, in order to pass along my powers, for my hours are numbered. Come closer. Pronounce my name, Billy Batson. And then, of course, lightning strikes. And I love how it's, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, how the paneling's set up. You don't really see this anymore. It's just a very nice, classic way to tell the stories. Here we see Freddie Freeman, who, they're not brothers in the original books, like how they've kind of made them orphan, foster brothers in a sense. But not here. They're just really good friends. And you also get the backstory of how Freddie Freeman became a Marvel. I must now record who Captain Marvel Jr. is and how he came into existence. Freddie Freeman, a poor newsboy, was one day nearly killed by an injury that was to leave him forever a cripple. So he had a life-threatening injury. Shazam brought him, or should I say Captain Marvel at this time, brought him to Shazam. Shazam said, the only way you can save this boy is if you give him a portion of your power. And that's how Freddie became Captain Marvel Jr. Now, Marvel around this time had Captain Marvel too. And Marvel sued, and I don't remember all the details. If you can, let me know down in the comments. But that's how they stopped calling this Captain Marvel Shazam, because of the names changed between Marvel and DC. So it's just weird how all that happened. And now with all that said, we finally get the Battle of Shazam. And again, you can tell how this is Silver Age, or not Silver Age, I'm sorry, but Golden Age. Because kind of like with the cowboy comics of old and TV shows, they would always give the villain kind of those elongated faces. And I mean, look at that. He looks more like a troll compared to how he looks more debonair in the comics nowadays. He's got the pointy ears, almost looking Vulcan. And the story in and of itself, yes, the talking is very corny. They'll say stuff like, gee willikers and stuff like that. I'm waiting to hear, gee willikers, radioactive man. But nonetheless, just being able to see how they're evenly matched. And just look at this. Long, elongated proportions. More innocent looking. Just funny. Funny in my thing. Right here. Holy moly, he did survive. Bah, I'm your equal. You can't whip me. Just good stuff all around. Now, one more thing. We also do get the backstory of Mary Marvel. Now, I am not 100% sure. I was going to look it up and I forgot. But look at Mary here. I swear I heard somebody say this at one time in history. It looks like she was, of course, the actor's name completely eludes me. But the girl that played Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. I mean, look, that's almost a dead giveaway for Dorothy. So I think that's where they got the idea. But here it shows the way that Mary got her powers. She was actually a long-lost biological sister of Billy. Billy was captured. He couldn't say the words, and so she said, I wonder if I say the magic words, I'll get it. And Shazam says that he granted her the powers. He says, I granted Mary Marvel the Shazam powers like her brother. As for Uncle Marvel, well, now, there's something I can't quite explain myself. He's not a true Marvel at all. He's a fraud. And I must say, I'm glad that they did not keep Uncle Marvel. Ugh. He shouts my name and always pretends to change by magic, too. But he really just whisks away outer clothing, revealing a red suit that he made. And I'm guessing he's supposed to be like the dumpy, comedy relief, because every scene that he's in, I don't know why people found him likable back in the day, but he just the way he talks was just killing me all around. So, just like with older Silver Age and Golden Age comics, there's not the main story like there is now. I mean, we'll get a backup story once in a while, but usually somehow tie into the main arc. Here, because it was funny papers, they would add stuff like, Richard, Private Dick in the Showcase, which we're not going to go over. I do not care, but you can just see the classic why parents back in the day said, why are you always wasting your time with the funny pages? Because this looks like stuff that was out of a news strip, which it was. And then we get the appearance of Baby Marvel. Yeah. You can see how tame the 40s and 50s were. And there again, Uncle Marvel. Now this story, it was stupid, but it was funny at the same time because basically Billy Batson gets stuck with an abandoned baby and they don't know what to do. So he's like, I need the whole Marvel family here. And they're like, oh my God, it must be some sort of threat. And yeah, it's just a baby. And none of them were like, we're not keeping this baby. It's going to get adopted, whether, come hell or high water. But it kind of ends happy, saying that they actually wanted to keep it and that they loved the little tyke. So for what it is, the innocence of it was fun. I can see how, it wasn't harmful like a lot of today's comic books are, where you're just like, damn, they went there. But then again, you look back and you go, damn, this was corny. So, I see happy mediums nowadays, but just going back and seeing how things originated from is definitely worth it. And I'm glad that Shazam has definitely evolved over the years. And I'm glad that Jeff Johns, during his New 52 Justice League, made it a little more edgier and where they got the idea for the movie and made things make a little more sense. But seeing how it all started here in Fawcett Comics was absolutely awesome. And I highly recommend that if you're a comic book character, if you're a comic book character, I want to meet you. If you're a comic book collector like me, this is a book that you want in your collection. If you can get an original one, get two and hook me up. I'll love you forever. But if not, definitely, for $4, to be able to at least say that you have a reprint of the first appearance of Black Adam, hell, go for it, guys. You're going to be really entertained by everything that you just saw. So with that said, if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little Shazam bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with you all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.